forward. Great win in midfield. Set up Doku, who did brilliantly down the inside left flank. Cut it back for De Bruyne, finished with absolute aplomb. So 1-0 at half-time, Man City, but a very even contest and a great first half of football.
Yeah, a great first half of football. I'm sure the second will be equally entertaining. At half-time, though, it is City 1, Wolves 0. OK, let's go back to the studio. Michael Brownlee, Naylor, and, of course, Cal.
Well, what a half of football. Very, very tense affair. It's Manchester City 1, Wolves 0, but I don't think that quite tells the full story. And what a studio we've got for you at half-time. Of course, Michael and Lee, who were with me before the game, and Jolien has now joined us as well. So, Jolien...
I've got a bit of luck, you know.
Yeah, well, you know, come on. It's the tan.
I've got half an ounce tan as well. Yeah, my arms, mate.
I mean, of course, two clubs that mean so much to you. So just as a general assessment, what have you made of our football? Because for me, City maybe a little bit lucky to be in front.
Yeah, definitely lucky not to have conceded. But yeah, it's been an entertaining half. Wolves have played to their strengths and been compact and then tried to break fast and cause problems, and we know they have pace in attack. Cunha has probably been relatively quiet for his standards, but they've created opportunities and should have scored, in my opinion.
Should have scored indeed, Michael. And from a City point of view, it did feel for them first 30 minutes really that City struggled to get in the game. I think that was down to how well Wolves started and played.
Well, the confidence to stay and wait and be out of possession.
Yeah.
City seems to obviously move it around, try one side then the other, and then they've got good players. They're playing with confidence. Just look, Bellegarde, with the way his skills are coming out, flicks and tricks. They had a couple of opportunities. They scared us. I did fancy them to score tonight. They haven't obviously done that, but they deserved a goal. I think we would say that. But City just kept coming. They kept moving it. Kept waiting for opportunities. They've looked dangerous, but not really clinical opportunities, if I would say. A couple of speculative ones, but finally Kevin de Bruyne on point, and that's what's been needed.
Yeah, that is what splits them at the moment. Lee, I mean, what was your assessment of Wolves' first 45 minutes? I mean, as I was saying there, I think could have really been a goal up, if not maybe two, before we scored. Really impressed by the Wolves team I've seen.
Yeah, they came out the gate really fast. I think both teams, it was like you attack us, we attack you, we'll defend, and going forward, they look dangerous. Ain't Nori, you can see down the left what he's got.
Yeah.
He's brilliant, him and Cunha, with that play, with that link up.
How does he not score? Ain't Nori.
Score, yeah, it's one of them. He must have 2-3 occasions in a game where he can score.
Yeah.
And he's just that putting the ball in the back of the net. You have to do that at the top level. And we haven't managed to do that.
Yeah, haven't quite managed to. There was a couple of other chances as well. I mean, you said there, Bellegarde as well. He was pulling out the skills. He had a chance. The square didn't quite pull off. There was another moment as well. You were saying should have squared it probably rather than going for the shot.
No, the one that he did try to pass or did square.
Yeah.
I thought that was the right decision.
Yeah.
I just thought the execution was very poor. I don't think he needs to be so precise. I think he can see his teammate ahead. Yeah, he's ahead of play, so he knows he's there. Just put the ball into an area where he has to finish it rather than it be so precise. He has to get the timing right. The timing doesn't need to be right. The ball can be there, and he can just run onto it and tap it in. And said it's an easier pass than he made it look.
But then the other one, when the shot was taken, the cutback was on.
Yeah, of course it was. But again, all of a sudden, then you're thinking, have I made the right decision before? And it's like,
it's in your head. Yeah.
So again, your mind plays tricks on you at times. But again, just poor execution and poor final. The final action. He's letting balls down.
It really felt. I turned to my dad, I think, and said it. At times, particularly in the first 30-35 minutes, it felt a little bit like PSG because your midfield, which you highlighted, Lee, was so fit, fast, strong. They were first to everything, being very, very physical. And do you think that's a big part of how they managed to not control the game, but were quite dominant, particularly in that 30-35 minutes?
Yeah, I mean, you've got the safety of Andre and Joe Gomez, but then you've got the legs of Menezzi and Bellegarde. They're your runners. They're doing the dogged yards. They're doing the hard yards. And you've got Cunha, who's literally got a free roll. But it's when Cunha gets on the ball, what can he do? That's what we're looking. He seems to be pulling off on Diaz, and I think that'll be the game plan.
Yeah.
Just simply because of his pace, but he's got football intelligence. He's playing at one of the best clubs in the world. So they've got to be a bit more cute.
Yeah.
How comfortable is Andre? Even in the ball, it tells you as you go to the nesso next level.
He's a Brazilian international.
Right now, he's going give me the ball, it doesn't matter. Someone's next to me, and that just takes all the pressure off. He's very
Both of them in those sitting two, they're both very comfortable on the ball. Both want to take it in certain situations where you think, oh, that's a bit risky, but they're not bothered. They'll take it under pressure and they'll give it easy.
I wanted to ask then, obviously, Brownie, once after that, City did come into the game. Did they change anything? Did they do anything differently for you, or was it just a case of trying to get on the ball and stringing together a few passes?
I think there could be a lot more changes, but I think it's about control. Be patient, wait. There will be an opening. I thought we talked about earlier about Doku, whether he'd play on that left-hand side, how we'd get on 1-1s, where it would end up. But it's just about patience. You've got the quality, you will score goals, I'm sure. That's probably the plan. I think we sometimes think Pep will rush it a bit earlier by changing things, but it's not going so well. We're not winning 1-0, 2-0. We just say stick to the plan. The message will finally come through, and it's about grinding teams down. And I don't think there was a massive change in the game plan.
No, it wasn't too much. And then, I mean, we saw it here, didn't we, together, Jolie, and the Doku bit of magic. We could show the pace, yeah. Then, I mean, again, it was his little bit of magic there, which is all it was really, was just something to...
Individual brilliance.
Yeah.
But he's moving at such a pace that it's hard to stop. Like, defenders aren't doing things wrong, they just aren't able to stop him. And the more times you give him the ball, he may not create something every time, but his percentage and his ratio will definitely go up through the roof. So just keep feeding him the ball, keep getting opportunities, but you got to make sure you're in the box then, because he's moving at such a pace. It may be too fast for his teammates, so just make sure they're supporting and around the box.
And we've been highlighting him because we do know he's coming to an end, but of course Kevin de Bruyne is stepping up, and you can feel what it meant to the fans here in the stadium tonight.
Absolutely, he was meant to be, wasn't he? let's be honest, he was the one to step up. He gets in those positions, and that's his intelligence. That's his football intelligence. To let him know this ball's going to land here. And more, 9 times out of 10 it does. Yeah,
it did indeed, and that gave us the winner. Now, Jolie, we were asking Lee before about your guys playing together. He was also, same as Mark Kennedy, the player that he played the most with at Wolves. Yeah. Talked about that strong left-hand side. Conversely, what was it like for you to play with Lee and have Lee in front of him?
Yeah, it was great. He was, obviously, he looks a lot older than me. But he got into the team earlier than me, so he had more experience. So obviously getting in there and being a homegrown lad as well, he helped me bed in, and as I said, he looked after me on and after pitch as well, not just on it, but again we formed a great friendship as well, which helps. And then, as I said, our understanding of each other got stronger and more dominant, and we were able to kind of telepathically know what each other wanted and expected of each other. So it was a great relationship.
Did you have any were there any favourite games that you both, I mean, it might be individual, but were there any game standout games, one where you're like, that was the one, or maybe when you were younger, particularly when you first kind of come in?
All I remember is the games that we had a bit of trouble.
Yeah.
That's the only games I remember. The good games, we had a lot of good games. It was the ones that we had to work for this.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember Crystal Palace, it was AJ Johnson and a young Wayne Routledge. They were difficult games. I was just thinking to them games and thinking it wasn't not the easy ones. I remember. It's the tougher ones that you're thinking, ooh.
And you Fulham.
Yeah, Fulham's, yeah. Fulham. Oh, that was wow.
Oh, yeah, okay.
He gave me a taste, he did.
Did he, yeah?
Oh, my God. It's the best performance I've ever received against me.
Really?
Best striker I ever played against.
We discussed that before, didn't we, about performances 1 to 5, about who you come up against. And
yeah, when they have them
5, and so Saha did that to you.
Oh, my God.
One special day.
We played them a few weeks before, and they were top. And I knew it was going to be difficult. They'd scored and they'd won every game, and we come out 0-0, and I got man of the match. So I thought, oh, nice. And then we fast forward a few weeks on, and we played them in the cup, and I'm thinking it's going to be the same.
Here we go.
He knows it's not going to be the same. Oh my God! He scored 2. We lost 3-0. He scored 2. The ball come to him and he flicked it with the outside of his foot. It went that way and he went that way, and I was like, oh, where am I? And he scored a pen, and I didn't give away the pen. Might have been nails, but he scored a pen with his left foot, and he scored a free kick with his right foot.
Wow, really?
Yeah. Just to rub the
salt in the wound.
Yeah. It made me know. To be fair though, that made me realise there was another level.
Wow. Okay.
A whole another level of, because the attributes I thought I was good at, he dominated me in every one. So I remember thinking, I need to improve a lot.
Yeah, that's kind of where it's at.
That might have been that moment.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was.
that's it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd ask for some funny stories, but I guess they're all the lobby for off camera, I'm guessing.
Yeah,
I think we've got time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we've got time. Come on.
Watersheds.
There's got to be a
3 minutes to
Come
9,
on.
man. It's 3 minutes to 9. Right.
Do you know, well,
I think you can.
Hey, the funny story was
Go on
us
then,
winning
go on
3-0 in a
Oh yeah, that's the funny story. The 3-0 in the playoff final.
I don't remember that.
Half time. And me coming in at half time saying, now we're off. Now she's telling me to concentrate.
What game's that? Who's that game?
Jags was playing. I don't know who else was playing. Someone missed a pen.
You don't even know what it
We still got time.
Terrible. They're coming for me as a deflection. Terrible. The beat us 3-0. Playoff final, then they Wolves, Sheffield United, and I missed a pen. Terrible, eh?
I didn't even know that before Matt Murray actually told
Matt
me.
Murray told me to put it in that side.
They didn't know.
I've totally
Remember,
forgot.
I tell you what was mad about that game. They had a long throw, but our goalkeeper Matt Murray could come and just get anything.
Yeah.
To the point of where if they had a throw in the 18, like in the depth of the 18-yard line, they would have to throw it back because if they threw it in the box, he was just coming to get it.
No way.
Yeah,
I think what's good is we've got time in the day because he's going to go and tell the same story to Neil Warnock. I'm sure he'd be delighted to come on. Get him in here. We need 2 beats. I'm outnumbered, yeah.
Do you want a funny story on Matt Murray? When they did his testimonial at Wolves, I don't know if you played in that, but I had it was one of my friends who was an actor and chipped him from the halfway line.
Perfect. I need a few stories on Matt Murray.
Yeah, he can't
Do
jump.
you know what? I've actually got video footage of the chip
you
as
send me
well.
that?
Of
Send
his
me that.
testimonial.
Send me that.
I'll send that over.
We'll put that in. We'll put that in.
Birthday today as well. Send me that today. I want that today.
I actually will argue it from Jack.
Yeah.
Just quickly then, Brownie, from a City point of view, more of the same to try and just keep that concentration, calmness and keeping the ball.
I think they've got to. They've got to increase the tempo. 1v1s, wider positions, trying to get into better areas, create more opportunities. Because this Wolves side, with the confidence they've got, they're going to keep coming. The longer the game goes on, you know full well, a team will sit and wait, and then all of a sudden they'll just come out and go for it.
And from a Wolves point of view, you've hit the post. You're really real lucky to not at least have a goal. Message in the dressing room, I'm guessing, is much of the same.
Yeah, the confidence is there. Obviously, with 6 on the bounce, and they know there's chances there. So, can you finish your chances off? I'm sure that'll be the message.
And Jolene, we spoke about before the game, but it's been an amazing turnaround from the new manager to this Wolves team now. I mean, he must be so impressed.
Yeah, definitely. But I'm not surprised though either because as we're talking about it on the way, like they went and recruited someone that had been in the scenario that they were in. Like I think they changed the same week as Southampton, who went and got someone that has got experience of winning the league and creating opportunities. Where Wolves went and got a guy that's fought relegation and survived. So they got someone that knew what he was doing, and the players have bought into exactly what he's been asking. So credit to him and all the players.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, there they are. They're ready to go in the tunnel. So hand you back to the commentary team. Jolene, thanks for joining us. Myself, Lee and Brownie. If you want to join us at full time, you can do. But we'll be back, and both predictions still very much intact here in the studio. So we'll see who comes out on top after these 90 minutes. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back at full time. Come on, City.
Welcome back to the Etihad Stadium at the start of the second half. I say the start, the City players aren't out yet, but the Wolves players are. And what an extraordinary first half that was. Wolves, you have to say, should have been 1 up, maybe even 2 up. And the Blues got